right now. And Republican Congressman Mike Haridopolos joins us now to talk more about this. So, Congressman, always great to see you. First of all, this is a bipartisan bill. A lot of Republicans, a lot of Democrats like this one. What's behind the idea for this bill, first of all?
Well, as you know, John, for years, housing prices were going up. Interest rates went up big time during the Joe Biden years. I think they got over 7.5% with inflation at 9%. And so the good news is, for once, here in Washington, D.C., we're working together. And I'm proud to say that I'm actually a member of the Financial Services Committee, where I serve as the whip, meaning one of the leadership positions. And we were able to work with Democrats to put it as actually, you put it best, we're increasing the supply of housing. The way you reduce costs is by increasing the supply so the demand costs go down. And we're optimistic by removing the red tape, some of these bogus permitting requirements that were adding not only cost, but time for homes to be built. We think this will be a positive way to try to bring down prices and make it more affordable once again.
You know, Congressman, we all know supply and demand is also a big issue, especially here. I mean, your district is Brevard County, some of the highest home values out there due to your amazing location close to the beach. Is this going to be enough to help enough people, especially like first-time home buyers, get into a house they're not renting forever?
Well, I think that's a great point, and it's the reason why we've been so aggressive about trying to turn back what happened in the prior 4 years. We're also working with banks to give them more flexibility, especially with first-time home buyers. This, after all, is the American dream, to own your own home. We've really worked hard to try to bring down those interest rates in a positive way. Of course, we're trying to also attack the higher prices. And this is, again, an example where we can work together here in Washington, D.C. I pride myself on working with others, not just, of course, on housing, but issues like space as well. We've had tremendous success. I'm glad to see we're finally working together on some of these important issues, because we all win when housing prices come down, make it more affordable so that people can live where they actually want to live.
You know, Congressman, if we can pull that list back up, guys, very quickly. On the screen here, we have the list of provisions inside this housing bill. Number 3 on the list right there is it bans corporate investors from buying certain single-family homes. How is that going to be enforced? Because we know here in Florida, that's what's driven up the prices so much for a lot of people. How do you enforce that to make sure that corporations don't buy these houses?
Well, again, the idea is to make sure it's more affordable, and this is the one way to do it. It's bringing down some of these costs because of red tape, etc. Also, we saw some of the corporations were taking advantage of some people in a vulnerable situation. By putting some limits on these for corporations, it makes a more vibrant housing market. This is why we work together with the Senate, the House, Republicans and Democrats, and this morning, Donald Trump will actually sign that bill into law, and we're optimistic by removing some of these barriers, more citizens can go out and buy that first house, or maybe buy a larger house if they're a growing family, or if they're downsizing because they're empty nesters like me, they'll have more options in the market.
Before I let you go, Congressman, you and Elizabeth Warren are on the same page on this. Did you ever think that was going to happen?
Well, there's, it's only in Washington that something like that can happen. But the good news is that some of her provisions didn't make it in the final bill, and a lot of ours did.
You had to get one in there. All right, Congressman, always good to see you. Appreciate your time today. Again, Congressman Mike Haridopolos. Well,